love may open up another door of light. Oh, there's a light. Oh, there's a light. Open up in everyone. Can you feel it? There's a light to change the world. Won't you be a part of the light? Oh, love, it is the answer now, and we can see love. There's a light. There's a light that shines inside of me. Oh, there's a light. Oh, there's a light that shines inside of you. There's a light in me and you. Oh, there's love. Oh, yes, indeed. There is a light right here on WWNN 1470 AM and 95.3 FM. And if you're listening to us on 103.9 and 95.3, we welcome you because we've been doing some shaking and changing and some expanding here in WWNN. And we're welcoming you to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah. Right here, we're answering your calls at 888-565-1470. This is the time, this is the moment for us to align with happiness. Because this is the season, isn't it? 'Tis the season to be jolly, fa-la-la-la-la. Oh, I know, you're in the car right now, driving home from work. And in your mind, you've got this list of things to do. I know, we're making a list. We're checking it twice. Holy crow, who was naughty and nice? I don't know. But this is the time for all of us to line ourselves up with happiness and joy. But somehow you're a little too busy, aren't you? Are you ready for the holidays? You ready for Hanukkah? Ready for Christmas? Ready for New Year's? Oh my goodness. And then don't we still have a house to clean, children to take care of? And there's so much to do. But tonight, all night from 6 to 8 p.m., we're going to be tuning into you because tonight is always, as always, all about you, answering your questions and seeing what's making you tick in life and what might be throwing you off course. So if you're closing out 2019, and I know some of you are, and you're saying, whew, what a year that was, can't wait for 2020. The key to having the best 2020 ever is really going to be for you to know exactly what it is you want. So some of you are saying, Sarah, I don't know what I want. I don't even know what I want for dinner. You want me to know what I want for 2020? Well, we're going to have to take a good look inside, and we're going to have to focus on the feelings. Matter of fact, we're going to be getting from the happiness from the inside out. That's what the rumor is out here, because we've got a special guest who's going to be joining us in just a little bit. And we're going to talk to all of you so that you can align with your personal happiness. Now, I've had some thoughts on this, and I thought I'd share them with you. You know, before I got ready to decide what we'd call the show, I had to have a sit down with Spirit. That's always interesting. Usually they say, sit right down, SarahSpiritual. We've got a story for you. So I very nicely sat right down, and my little cat Cleopatra was sitting right there for this one. She's like, oh, this is going to be good. And I sat there, and they said to me, remember the time. And whenever they say remember the time, I know they're going to remind me of one of my stories. And one of those stories was, I really didn't know what I wanted to do. I didn't know what I wanted to be. I had all these things that I thought I liked, but nothing ever really made me happy. I showed up, like many of you. I went to work. I did a good job. I was a good employee. I smiled. I gave them my best foot forward. But at the end of the day, I went, no, this isn't it. I couldn't have grown up for all of this. And I worked for my father for many years. And I loved working with him. And he taught me a lot about people. Matter of fact, earlier, we were talking about some of the things that went on. But in the country club business, it's really about being of service. I think that was my first opportunity to learn how to be of service. And let me tell you something, I learned patience. I learned patience because you have to meet people where they're at and understand what's important to them in order to be of service to them. And so I watched my father manage hundreds of members at an event and never lose his cool no matter what happened. And I remember thinking to myself, how is that possible? Because people were upset, they were complaining, maybe the reservation wasn't taken right. And I remember this one woman went up to my father and she said, Nick, and she was really upset. She's like, I've got guests. And my father's like, well, we will have a table for your guests. And she goes, well, I put my reservation in early and she went off. And I was standing there. And my father looked over and he winked at me. And I knew something good was coming. And through his wink, I knew he was going to have quite the story for her and never lose his cool. He sat there and he told her this wonderful story. He said, we've got this magnificent pool table. It is so beautiful. It has lights and it floats. Oh, you're going to put us by the pool? No, I'm putting you in the pool. It's going to float. What? I can't have my guests in the pool. She didn't realize he was kidding. But what he did was, that joke took her off her little meltdown. And then she turns to her husband. I never saw a woman give a man an elbow in his rib any faster than she did. Martin, did you not make the reservation? Suddenly it dawns on her. I don't think it was Nick's fault. I think it was Martin's. And then my father winked at me again. You see, even though there were moments in his day-to-day activities that in being of service, maybe someone stepped on his toe or his personality, but he recognized that they were important, and these were important events to them, and he had chosen to be of service. So when I went out into the world, I recognized that when I went to work for someone, they were paying me a good day's wage, if I picked the right job, and that I had to give them 100%. But somewhere in all of that, there's that part that says, am I doing this for them, or am I doing it for me? So many of you listening tonight, there may be things in your life that you're doing for someone else. And that's great. We do want to help other people and share with other people. But when you do it at the expense of others and yourself, because you're not being true to yourself, you start to feel empty. And never before, in all my years of talking to people, have I heard so many people come to me and say, Sarah, I feel empty. I don't feel like I know who I am. I feel lost. So if you're listening and you're feeling lost, then I know that tonight we're going to give you some keys to open up that secret box. You know, the box that shows us who you really are? Your happiness factor has most likely been conditioned. Yes, when you were growing up, your parents told you what makes you happy. They showed you things that should make you happy. They told you what foods we eat in our family. They showed you how holidays should be celebrated. And you began to become indoctrinated in a pattern of life that you as a soul person did choose your family. I'm sorry, there's no getting around it. You picked them. But they were the ones that molded you. But your little spirit, that shining light, there's a light inside of you, and it's not as lost as you thought. That light knows what you like, what makes you happy. It knows where you belong. It's just separating yourself from the conditioned mind, separating yourself from the day-to-day activities that keep you too busy to breathe, and sitting and being still. And I don't necessarily mean meditating. Just being still and checking in with you, taking the pulse of who you are, and saying, how are you feeling? Don't you usually greet someone and say, hi, how are you today? When was the last time you looked in the mirror and said, hey you, how you doing? And I know some of you look in the mirror and go, lousy, because it happens. But how do we get from that feeling of discontentment, being separated, not really knowing who we are, and recognize what our happiness factor is? What makes me happy? The journey is everything you've ever had happen in your life. The good, the not so good. We were talking earlier before the show, and essentially I was sharing that my journey here is a culmination of everything I ever did. Everything I got to experience, the good and the not so good, has given me the opportunity to share with all of you. And so that I can say, I know exactly what it's like to be in your shoes. I may not have the same story, but I felt the feeling. And if I know what it feels like, then I can relate. That doesn't mean I have to jump in your story and save you. Not my job. It means that I have an opportunity to hold space for you and give you empathy and to encourage you to find the path that makes your light shine. Earlier today, I was talking with a woman, and she said, but I don't know what new job I would want to get. I don't even know what I want to do. And I said, well, start writing. She goes, oh, I did the journaling thing. I understand you journaled, but I ask you to write down how it would feel to have what you want. Well, I have no memories, she says to me, of things that I want, so I can't find anything. So her energy was feeling really closed off because, honestly, she really didn't know. So I said, when you're out and you see something that looks like it feels good, see yourself in the scene for just a moment and take a pulse and see how it feels for you. You see, we've become numbed down and sometimes a little dumbed down, and just stepping in a path that we'd stopped feeling. And we don't know what it feels like to be who we are. And in this holiday season, everyone's talking about fa la la and happiness. But then there are those that are sitting there saying, but I'm spending Christmas alone. I don't really know anybody, and I don't feel very fa la la. And quite frankly, I don't know how I'm going to pay my bills. I've heard those stories. So how do you find happiness there? Well, we're going to talk about that later too. Because the contentment that fills your soul will make you feel feelings that are different than anything you've ever felt when you recognize that you're not alone, because you're protected, you're guided, and you're one with the universe. The universe is this magnificent, energetic flow that the human eye cannot even see entirely. It goes beyond, and your soul, the light within you, is a continuum of energy that's infinite and stands the test of time far beyond where we know time will take us. So you're the culmination of experiences that maybe in this life you have no recollection, but in other lifetimes, in other experiences, there's a memory. And in that memory, your soul knows where you belong, what makes you happy, and how you can step into that, regardless of the circumstances and the conditions. When Spirit took me to the memory, they took me to a really interesting time. There was a time when I was really by myself. It was myself and my son. And I was at a company gathering. It was a dinner that we were all at. And everyone was talking about where they were going for the holidays. And my father had passed, my mother had passed. And I was thinking, they're going around the table, they're going to ask me, what do I say? So on one side, I was like, well, do I say, oh yeah, I've got places to go, people to see, and just keep it moving? And then I made a choice. I made a choice because I didn't want to play that story. You know, we put on these fronts in life that we show people what they want to see in us, what they want to know about you. So in my head, there was like 3 more people coming. I said, we're keeping it real here. And so when they came to me, I said, oh, no, I'll be by myself home. My son's going to be visiting his father, and I'll be by myself. They kind of looked at me. They were like, what? Wait, but they didn't know what to do with that. And I said, but you know what? I said, it gives me some nice quiet time. And I get to relax. It's actually a perfect holiday. And they went to the next person, and I could see people thinking, like, is she alone because she wants to be? Is she alone because she doesn't have anybody? Should I ask her to my house? Like, I could see everyone. They didn't know what to do with that. Because sometimes when people are talking about their lives, they forget that someone else may not have that same experience. They might not have that big family. They might not have that table full of food. Because no 2 people are the same. No 2 experiences are the same. But we've been conditioned to see the world through this mass view of what it should be. So no wonder a lot of us are feeling lost. No wonder we don't know what our happiness is. We've been beating the drum of someone else's happiness. Many of you have. And some of you have been at some pinnacle crossroads that really, you were like, wow, I don't know what to do. And maybe you felt like your life was falling apart. And you didn't know what was worth fighting for anymore. That's when we take a good step back. And the disconnecting from other people's stories is most advantageous. And then stepping into the fact that you are writing a whole new story. What does a great screenwriter do? They write a magnificent script. They write it out. You know how many are in the garbage? And then one day it just all flows and it clicks. Have you noticed there's a part of life that's a stage? Doesn't mean be phony. It means that you are writing your own story. And with every choice you make, every feeling that you choose to acknowledge, every thought you give power, you are energetically creating not just the moment of now, but the energetic blueprint for your tomorrow. So no matter where you are now, in this moment of now, we have the power to make a shift. So your story this morning may have been, I don't feel very happy, and I don't know where I belong, and I'm feeling lost. And maybe you're in this energy of lack, discontentment, frustration, fear of the unknown, uncertainty. Wherever you are, there's a change coming. There's a change because if you just apply a different mindset, a different thought that stimulates a feeling, we can put you on a path of a great moment of now that sets the energetic pattern for tomorrow. And for those of you who are in this great place, because you've passed through those times, ride the wave. Ride the energy of where you are and don't look back. Because when we look back and think and remember of the times when, we pull that energy back in. In the moment of now, you are aligned with destiny. And in the moment of now, you are free to choose what you decide your life will be. The circumstances, the conditions, the illusions that surround you, it's all good because they're showing you contrast, what you want and what you don't want. So line up the list of what's making things right. And then the things that seem a little naughty and not so nice, we're not giving them to Santa's elves this year. We're going to make a new list of what you desire. And we're going to tap in and tune in to who you are. So tonight, we are taking your calls right here on WWNN, 1470 AM, 95.3 FM. And we welcome this because we want to hear, yes, indeed, I want to hear, what does happiness mean to you? No, I'm not just giving out all the information. We want to hear from you. What does happiness mean to you? And then, of course, we're going to answer your questions. And when we come back from our break, I have a very special guest, a dear friend. You know, life has a way of bringing people together. And sometimes, when we are in the right place at the right time, the energy just connects like-minded beings. And then a plan is made so that together, the conscious stream becomes even greater. And we can all get a little happy and feel the vibe. So when we come back, I'm going to have my guest, Rob Mack, join us, and we're going to answer your questions, and we're going to hear a little bit from Rob and what his story is. Because, let me tell you, Rob Mack's got a story, don't you? Well, we're going to use that story, your story, his story, my story, and they will be our stepping stone to greatness as we close out 2019 and fly into 2020. Stay with us, everyone. Don't go away, because you know we're going to be right back.
Do you know me? Have you heard me? Have you seen me?
For soft, rich and beautiful skin, use Beauté de Lune products. Beauté de Lune products, based on natural fruits and extracts, revitalize your skin and make you incredibly beautiful. For acne, sensitive skin, dry or oily skin, Beauté de Lune. Cleanse, moisturize and revitalize your skin with Beauté de Lune. A miracle. For your order, call us at 561-906-7466 or to our store, 2695 North Military Trail Suite 21, or visit us online at www.beautédelune.net.
Want to feel your healthiest ever? Kim Skokin of Natural Medicine of Palm Beach is a naturopathic doctor and holistic healer who creates a personalized total body health plan for you. Call 561-469-0099 or visit naturalmedicineofpalmbeach.com. Kim addresses weight loss, autoimmune disorders, anxiety, depression, and mental health. Kim specializes in bioenergetics and other leading-edge techniques. Mention SarahSpiritual when you schedule your appointment and receive a free food sensitivity assessment. Call Kim Skokin at 561-469-0099.
For the most extensive multicultural array of spiritual products, classes, and healing services in a comfortable and convenient setting, you must visit the Expedito Enlightenment Center in the Habitat Plaza in West Palm Beach. There you'll find the products, services, and spiritual development classes to help you bridge the gap between you and your spiritual connection. Arrange for your own personal spiritual reading with SarahSpiritual for spiritual insight. The Expedito Enlightenment Center is located at 4047 Okeechobee Boulevard in the Habitat Plaza, West Palm Beach. Call them at 561-682-0955 or online at expeditoenlightenmentcenter.com. For yourself or for a thoughtful gift, there's no better place to visit than the Expedito Enlightenment Center in the Habitat Plaza, Okeechobee Boulevard, West Palm Beach. Call 561-682-0955 or visit them on the web at expeditoenlightenmentcenter.com.
You're listening to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, your spiritual advisor and medium. Connect with Sarah and be in the energy of light. Call SarahSpiritual now, toll free, worldwide, 1-888-565-1470. 1-888-565-1470. Just ask your questions or message SarahSpiritual live on Facebook, YouTube, or Periscope.
Do
Oh, yes, indeed. Do you know me? I am Sarah Spiritual, and we are spiritually speaking to all of you right here on WWNN 1470 AM and 95.3 FM, and we're answering your questions. But before we get to those phone lines, it's going to be a good night, I can tell. I want you to share the page on Facebook. Let me know in the Facebook feed, hey, Sarah Spiritual, I shared the page. And those of you on YouTube, we say hello to you. We say hi to everyone on Periscope. If you're watching us on SarahSpiritual.com, thank you so much. Share the page, share the light, share the love, because you want to make sure everyone you know is tuned in really well, because we've got a great guest joining us tonight. And as you know, we usually fly solo here on Spiritually Speaking with Sarah. We're chatting it up with all of you. You are my guests usually, but I thought tonight's the night, as we get ready to close out 2019, that we would welcome a very special guest who has the power to help you find that happiness. We're going to kind of work on happiness from the inside out. I've got my very special guest, Rob Mack. He's the host of Evertalk Live, America's first live streaming daily talk show. He's an Ivy League educated positive psychology expert and life coach and published author. Robert is the life coach and celebrity love coach for the television show Famously Single on E! I'm sure some of you have watched that. And he has been featured as a guest expert for shows like The Today Show, Good Morning America, Entertainment Tonight, CBS Early Show, and more. Robert's work has been endorsed by Oprah and Vanessa Williams, among many others. So let me tell you that I was so fortunate. I was at a wonderful event in June associated with the Lightworker, Universal Lightworkers group, and we were with Rob and Rose and Joelle, who will be hosting another fabulous event in January, and my dear friend Sheila and Marcus will be there. And I had an opportunity to listen to Robert speak, and I like to call him Rob, so we're going to call him Rob from here on in. But I got to tell you that I took a good look at his book, Happiness from the Inside Out, The Art and the Science of Fulfillment. You know, in this spiritual community, sometimes we talk about get happy 'cause I'm happy, clap along if you feel, and you're like, oh, Sarah, how am I going to get happy if I don't have an answer? Well, Rob has discovered not just the feeling, but he knows how to get happy. So without further ado, I'm going to welcome my dear friend, Rob Mack. Rob, how are you?
Yes, I'm fantastic. Boy, who is this guy, Rob?
I don't know, but it seems like you get around, you know everyone, and you're talking happiness.
Yes. Oh, my goodness. The hard, long, scenic route. That's the way I discovered happiness for myself.
I think most people do, right?
Yeah.
So, Rob, tell us, when you were on this journey of finding your happiness, I know you hit a couple of roadblocks.
Oh, my goodness.
Maybe a couple of potholes.
Oh, I probably hit a couple stop signs,
Yes.
walls. I mean, I feel like I was born unhappy. That was the greatest challenge of my life. I mean, I can remember being unhappy as long as I can remember being alive. I mean, that's what it felt like for me. And I grew up in a beautiful, loving family. I mean, of course, we had our challenges and struggles like every family does. But, you know, I was surrounded by love, and I did well academically. I did well athletically. Things were going pretty well. Eventually, you know, got hired by a fantastic consulting company. I worked there, and I had a beautiful girlfriend. But my unhappiness just continued to grow over the years. So despite things getting better and better and better, I felt worse and worse and worse for it. And so eventually I got to a place where I was just committed, you know, to killing myself. You know, I became so deeply depressed that I didn't see a way out. I felt helpless. It felt hopeless. And so I began researching ways to kill myself. And, you know, eventually I came and decided that I didn't have access to a lot of the means that were, you know, sort of shared online, but I did have access to kitchen knives and things like that. So I remember the day I literally just went into the kitchen and, you know, I grabbed the first knife I saw, really. And, you know, I just sort of dug it into my wrist. Part of it was because I didn't want to experience pain as much as I wanted to kill myself. Right. I still didn't want to experience the pain, but I dug it into my wrist, and you can still see today I have it, the suicide test marks there. And I had the strangest, most sort of indescribable, inexplicable experience, because as I dug this knife into my wrist, as I'm contemplating suicide and sort of the end of my life, I felt this peace and this bliss just wash over me for no good reason. And I remember in that very moment thinking, this is odd, and I should probably at least postpone this suicide thing for, an hour. That was all I'd sort of committed to. And I wasn't even fully committed to the hour. I just said I should put it off long enough to explore this and do a little research and see if I can discover what's going on here. Well, that hour slipped into a day, and it slipped into several days, and then before I knew it, it slipped into several months. During that period, I still experienced suicidal ideation, but inch by inch. And sometimes it was 2 inches forward and 14 inches backwards. But I began to dig myself out of this hole.
What did you do to dig yourself out of the hole?
I mean, I was reading everything, Sarah. I was listening to everybody. I was asking everybody questions. And I just really became committed to discovering what people who were smarter than me, maybe better educated than me, but who were truly happy, what they did differently than me, right? So I read science, and I read spirituality, and I read self-help, and I read business, and I read philosophy, and I read poetry. I read it all, everything. I mean, I was literally reading a book a day for years. And then I was applying it all. I was like really trying to test it. And quite frankly, most days, I still wanted to kill myself, right? But then I started noticing some things were just taking hold, and some things were working. And so I continued to do those things and just stick to those things. And before I knew it, I remember like maybe a day had gone by or 2 days, and I didn't feel like I wanted to kill myself.
So in those moments and your journey to finding your happiness, you're still living a life that was expected of you.
Yes, 100%.
Because there you are, the perfect employee.
Yeah.
Kind of like I was saying in the monologue, right? You're living this world of being an athlete,
Yeah,
being a good family member, good son.
yeah.
And so where did you find this ability to put on such a performance on the outside? And how did you feel that separation? Because here you're on the outside being this person,
Yeah.
and on the inside, you're slowly dying.
What a beautiful point. And that was that's the tipping point when I finally discovered, because for a long time, I didn't quite appreciate or understand the disconnect there. I knew I was doing a lot of things that I didn't want to do deep down inside, and that very much didn't feel like an authentic version of myself that I was expressing, right? I knew that, but still, I didn't think there was any other option beside living my life that way. But eventually I got to a place where it was like, I'm either going to live happy or I'm not going to live.
Right.
And at that point, that's when I decided, listen, if nothing else, when I'm reading these books, I was discovering things here and there, but I thought, if the way I'm living my life now is making me so miserable, what if, like that great Seinfeld episode where George does the opposite
Right.
of what he's always done because he's experienced nothing but failure in his life? What if I did that? What if I just started doing the opposite of what I'm used to doing? So instead of the corporate job, I'll not do the corporate job. Instead of living in cold, wintry Philadelphia, I'll move to Miami.
Right.
If I just started making these decisions, and of course I didn't make them all at once, and it was really hard to commit to this, those decisions. But yes, that was a huge point, was, coming to a place where I could not only become aware of my authentic self, but embrace that authentic self and then live in alignment with that authentic self.
Because I would imagine a lot of our listeners, they're feeling like they're on this mission of life that isn't even their mission.
Totally. It's like, what are we here for?
What are we here for? And people used to call that the midlife crisis, but guess what? People are having that at age 20.
Yes, 13 even, right?
Yes.
Like the average age for the first bout of depression used to be 50 years ago, it was 29 and a half years of age, just like you said. Now it's like 13 and a half. So 13-year-olds are actually having this crisis,
Right.
and a lot of them are depressed, and a lot of them are killing themselves.
And I sat across from a 5-year-old, and I can relate to what you said. The 5-year-old said, Sarah, I'm not happy. So, of course, I'm like, you're 5. That's what I said in my head. And I said, okay, why are you not happy? And they said, I don't know why I'm here. I don't know the point of why I'm here. So the souls are coming in search of something more than what we've been conditioned to believe life is.
I love you sharing that, because that used to really depress me, particularly when I began to come out of my depression. I would look at these kids and say, oh my goodness, I remember being unhappy at 5 and 6 and 7, but I see so many more kids being unhappy at such an earlier age now than ever. And it used to really actually upset me. And now I see the incredible opportunity there, because those kids are coming into this life with a deep wisdom and knowingness that most of us didn't have when we were 70 or 80 or 90 years of age. So they're actually much more advanced from that perspective.
Right.
And they're much more sensitive to the ways in which they can or can't live in alignment, right? They're much more in tune with who they truly are and what they came here to truly do and live.
Right. Could you imagine they come into their family and they're this wonderful, wise soul with years of experiences from other lifetimes and a finer attunement, so to speak. And then they sit there and go, this is my family? What is going on? Like, what is happening here? Like, my mom is doing this, my dad is doing this, and I'm sitting here. And I feel like they are here to teach us and to really show us that everything that we have put our emphasis on is not of the light of where we should be.
Oh, you just nailed it. I mean, we often think that we have to find answers to our questions, but the truth is that we need to question our answers. And that's what these kids are doing.
Yes.
They're forcing you to look and to consider and to explore the things you think are so true, but just aren't true. Question those answers that you just take for granted, right? And so I just love that point, and you're absolutely right about that. And they do that in a really powerful, poignant way.
They do. They do. And it said, if you're of the world, you're not of God, right? It's pure and straight. So we lose ourselves in our day-to-day activities. And these children are being caught up in the activities, but it's really more the parental desire to prepare them for life in the way that they were prepared for life. But life isn't playing out the way it used to.
Live in a different world.
Live
right?
in a different world.
And beyond that, you know, how many of us can truly say that the way in which we've lived our lives was a happy way? You know, that it was a peaceful way, that it was the most loving way, that it was the most successful way. It wasn't, you know, there've always been other options and other alternatives. And so we can't even necessarily say that the way we've lived has worked for us. So why do we insist that we have to impose these expectations and these ideas on kids who are coming into the world in much more advanced and wiser ways?
They are much more advanced. They really are. Rob, what's the key to happiness?
Yes, not thinking.
Oh, goodness. Well, then everyone better hit the pause button on their brain.
I mean, you know, it's interesting because science has so much to say about happiness. And most of what science will tell you is that if you're looking for happiness in other places, people, or things, you're probably looking in the wrong place, right? And I know that from experience. You know that from experience that, you know, the world makes a promise it cannot keep, okay? You will not find lasting, abiding, meaningful happiness or peace or love in the world, in other people, or in any particular place except within yourself. That is for sure. Now, the question then becomes, well, what is this self that we talk about? Because most of us just take it for granted that it's our personality and our body and our mind. And I would argue that it's not any of those things, that we have a mind, but we're not a mind. We have a body, but we're not a body. We have a personality, but we're not our personality. We are that which is aware of all of those things. We are the awareness behind all of that, between all of that, beneath all of that, and beyond all of that. That awareness is who and what we are. That awareness is thoughtless and wordless. Now, that all sounds kind of abstract and esoteric, but the truth is that we're most deeply happy, fulfilled, and content when we're in dreamless state, when you're having that experience at night, when you're not dreaming, and your mind is crystal clear and quiet, and you're just sleeping. Everybody loves that experience. Who doesn't look forward to that experience? That is the closest thing most of us know with respect to happiness. But there's an opportunity for all of us to experience that more consistently every single day, not by going to sleep, but by waking up.
Right. And when someone's depressed, what's the first thing they want to do?
Sleep.
Sleep. Because they inherently know that that will put them in a happy place, even if it's for a moment.
That's right. You're resting in source. You're resting in yourself. You're relaxing into yourself. And you just, I love that you say that. That was the thing I wanted to do. I just wanted to sleep all day, every day. And that was even that desire and intention to kill myself was really deep down just a desire to sleep. I wanted to sleep and rest and relax into myself and not worry and fret and struggle and strain and rush and fuss and hurry and worry about everything.
Right. And the world conditions us to do that. Well, we're going to take a minute to hear from our sponsors, Rob, and then when we come back, we're going to the phone lines. And let's see what we've got going on here at 888-565-1470. You're listening to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, and I've got my dear friend Rob Mack with me. Stay with us, everyone. Don't go away, because you know we're going to be right back.
Have we met before? I've been standing in the room before I walk through the door. Do you know me? Have you heard me? Have you seen me? Do you know my voice?
Have you ever felt alone, sensing something more is around you, but are unsure how to connect? Do you wonder if your loved ones who are deceased are among you? SarahSpiritual is a gifted spiritual advisor and medium who can connect you with your loved ones, spirit guides, and ascended beings. Sarah specializes in love, relationships, money, career, health, and healing. She has an uncanny ability to convey the true thoughts and emotions of those around you. For Sarah, life is a spiritual journey, and each situation has a spiritual solution. To contact Sarah for a personal reading, call 561-682-0956 or send an email to Sarah at SarahSpiritual.com. You can also visit www.SarahSpiritual.com for more information. That's 561-682-0956 or SarahSpiritual.com. Let Spirit and Sarah raise you up.
For soft, rich and beautiful skin, use Beauté de Lune products. Beauté de Lune products, based on natural fruits and extracts, revitalize your skin and make you incredibly beautiful. For acne, sensitive skin, dry or oily skin, Beauté de Lune. Cleanse, moisturize and revitalize your skin with Beauté de Lune. A miracle. For your order, call us at 561-906-7466 or to our store, 2695 North Military Trail Suite 21, or visit us online at www.beautédelune.net.
Interested in relieving tension, reducing stress, and revitalizing your energy? Call reflexologist Isabel Prado at 561-682-0954 to book your session. Reflexology of the hands, face, and ears improves circulation, the functioning of the nervous system, reduces fine lines and wrinkles, and leads to a glowing complexion. Experience what reflexology can do for you today. Contact Isabel Prado at 561-682-0954.
You're listening to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, your spiritual advisor and medium. Connect with Sarah and be in the energy of light. Call SarahSpiritual now, toll free, worldwide, 1-888-565-1470. 1-888-565-1470. Just ask your questions or message SarahSpiritual live on Facebook, YouTube, or Periscope.
We are back right here on WWNN 1470 AM and 95.3 FM. We've got a few minutes here that we're going to start to answer our first calls at 888-565-1470. So here's your part. What does happiness mean to you? And then you guys ask your question. But I need to hear from you first. So we've got quite a few callers on the line, and you know that when we take a call, the lines start to free up. And we're going to keep this moving, everyone. So we want to hear from you. Pick up the phone, share the page. If you know someone who's suffering from depression, perhaps they've had a moment of they've wanted to commit suicide. Maybe they've felt out of sorts and they're struggling with their happiness. This is the time. Get on the phone, call your friends, tell them, get on Facebook, get on YouTube. Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, SarahSpiritual. Go to Rob Mack and visit him on Instagram. Let's connect. And let's help people find this happiness factor because it's there for you. It's always been there. It's just like Dorothy. The power was always hers. It was never in the shoes. She had the power all along. You just don't know. You just got a little confused by the man behind the curtain. And that's life. And we're going to reel you in and put you right on your yellow brick road. So I'm going to go right to the phone lines. And let's see, I've got to go to Maria. Maria's right here in Boca, Florida. Maria, how are you?
Hi, good evening, Sarah.
Good to have you,
you,
Maria. I'm doing great. Maria, let me ask you this. What is your meaning of happiness?
Well, my meaning of happiness is good health, knowing that your loved ones are also in good health.
Mm-hmm.
And stable environment where you're living, whether it be an apartment or a home or any of those locations, and just also in employment. What is employment for me is I've had all kinds of employments, but
Right.
I'm in the medical field and I take care of the elderly.
Right.
And I've been doing this for about 8 years now. I'm a home health aide, certified, registered in the state of Florida. And prior to that, I was a medical assistant for 11 years. And I'm still doing it, but
So you like to be of
like
service.
everyone-
You like to be
I'm
of
sorry?
service. You like to be of service, Maria. Yes.
Yes.
But what
it
makes
wasn't
you-
always like that all
I
my
know.
life. It was only until later on in life that I was a single parent and I had to go back to school, and I didn't have college degree or university, and I went to vocational schools. And I first started as a child assistant program for childcare, and then I did that for several years, and then I was involved with my daughter's school, and then I went into the medical field at age 38.
So I'm going to tap into a
And-
feeling for you, Maria, if you just kind of follow me down this yellow brick road. What makes
I'm
you
sorry?
follow me down the yellow brick road. What makes you feel happy? Give me a feeling.
Just a piece that I know that I am making or trying to make wise decisions on a daily basis.
Okay. And you know you've got some change coming, yes?
Well,
You
I've
do.
been through a difficult year this year.
Yeah, long and winding
right
road.
now, I'm not in a very good place right now.
All right, we're going to restructure that, and we're going to talk to Spirit.
Yes.
And we're also going to talk to Rob, okay? So the first
Yes.
thing that they make me aware of is that there's changes in movement ready for you. And the first thing they take me back to is they take me back 14 years. We're going to go over the 14 years in a minute, because when I move you back 14 years, holy Christmas, that's like 2005. So that was
Yes.
a moment in your time, right, that you had to make a
Yes.
change. And some of the reasons why you're on the path you're on now is because the changes we began to make in 2005. And we're clearing out all those 14 years. And when I put you on the path of next year is about redefining self and your career so it fits into life, so you have life in a better fashion, because there's a change coming, and it may even involve a move. And this is to simplify life. Now, we're going to pass you to Rob for a moment, because I want Rob to give you some insight on happiness, because you're of service. And so Rob's going to give you a little bit of insight on happiness for you, all right? So stay with us.
Very good.
Rob,
Yeah.
what do you have to share?
Boy, I just love what she's had to share there around the service and around the health and around the employment. And I would say that two things. From a scientific perspective, we know that happiness, strange as it may seem and sound, happiness is not correlated with health. It's not correlated with employment. That doesn't mean that we don't prefer to be employed or
Right.
that we prefer to be healthy. But happiness really leads to those things and improves and enhances our experience of health and our experience of employment and our experience of abundance. But those things don't lead to happiness.
Right.
And so that's one thing I would just kind of remind us all of, is that, yes, we're going to certainly prefer money to no money and health to no health. But at the end of the day, it's happiness that's the very foundation of our lives, and the foundation of our health, and the foundation of our abundance, and the foundation of even our experience of, success and love.
Right. Does that resonate with you, Maria?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it does. Good evening, Rob.
Good
Sorry.
evening. No, you're great.
Maria, what's your question for me before we get waved off for commercial?
Well, it's I don't know. I'm kind of contemplating now because it's Christmas time. I don't have a place to live. I've been in my car now, sleeping in my car over a year.
Right.
Okay, so I've been struggling with all kinds of situations and what have you, but what was the question again? I'm sorry. I'm
Well,
kind of lost.
I understand. And remember the first thing I said to you
Oh,
is you're moving.
right now it's Christmas time,
Right.
and now my question to you is now at Christmas time, and during the year, yes, you think about your loved ones as the ones that have passed
Right.
to the afterlife, but I had one in particular last week. As a matter of fact, last Wednesday was the anniversary.
Right.
And lo and behold, it's just I think about my parents and this individual and so much more on this whole month. I guess because of the Christmas season.
Well,
And
Maria, look at it this way.
sometimes I feel like, where are they? Are they not helping me? I'm
They
just
do-
like in awe right now.
That's a great statement. And before they wave me to commercial, I'm going to just touch on that. So first, this year in the car, whatever purpose it served, is coming to a close. So I see the move. The next thing that I see for you is that your loved ones have been with you, supporting you, and they are there. They're waiting for you to choose to change. Now, here we go. I choose to be free. I choose to be happy. And in my happiness, you've proven to yourself you can be anywhere and live anywhere and still be of service to others. So, Maria, we're going to step you forward into January and February, and we're going to make the change. Stay with us. I know you've called into the show before. We're going to send energy and healing to you and support. And I know that there's going to be a shift coming for you. Thank you so much, Maria. We'll talk to you next week. God bless you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. We're going to take a minute to hear from our sponsors, and then we'll be right back.
Upon me, and there's a light that bright.
Stay tuned for more Spiritually Speaking with Sarah coming up right after the break. Continue the conversation with SarahSpiritual on Facebook, YouTube, and Periscope. Phone lines are open at 1-888-565-1470. That's 1-888-565-1470.
The sun begins to set and close out the day, and the moon begins to rise. It says hello as the sun says goodbye. The birds ride the wind and nowhere there to go. They're just cruising by, singing a song or two for you and I. The ocean meets the sand and whispers to it too, come dance with me and lose yourself deep in the sea. Oh, the world, it works so beautifully together. Oh, the world, it seems in harmony. Why can't you and I live together in harmony? The butterfly emerges from deep within the cocoon. It was hiding for a while, getting ready to show its beauty and change. The winds begin to blow and dance with the trees and twirl the leaves around as they dance in the sunlight. The rain, it begins to fall and everything washes off, all shiny and new, just like me and you. When we were once born, the world is there together as one. The world is there together in harmony. Why can't we live together and understand who we are? Why do wars make us better when we feel like we are hurt? Why can't we love one another and give it all a chance to dance? The world, it flows so beautifully.
To transform your life. A gifted spiritual advisor, coach, and medium, SarahSpiritual will assist you to connect to the light within and transcend beyond the limits of all possible experience and knowledge. Spiritually Speaking with Sarah is presented by the Expedito Enlightenment Center in the Tree of Life Plaza in West Palm Beach. For the next hour, call in and watch SarahSpiritual live on Facebook, YouTube, and Periscope, and share love and light.
Yes, indeed, there is a light right here on WWNN 1470 AM and 95.3 FM. And you're listening to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, and we've got a special guest tonight. We've got Mr. Rob Mack. And Rob Mack is the author of Happiness from the Inside Out. And this book has some of the answers so that you can get happy. And I have to tell you that if you visit Robert Mack, lifecoach.com, robmacklifecoach.com, that's it. You can get his book at robmacklifecoach.com. This book is going to coach you to finding your personal happiness. And we're answering questions here. Earlier we heard Rob's story, but now Rob and I have gone onto the phone lines at 888-565-1470. So let's see what we've got going on. Rob?
Yes,
how's it going for you?
It's going phenomenally well.
Yes, you're having a good time,
Oh my
right?
gosh, I used to dreaming having these kinds of conversations as a kid.
Yeah.
So it's just like Christmas. It really
Just
is.
like Christmas.
Yeah.
We were talking about that.
Yeah,
we look
were.
like Christmas this
Indeed,
morning, yes.
Absolutely.
So we're going to go right back to the phone lines. I've got to go to Sherry. And Sherry, well, Sherry's in Atlanta, and I got to talk to Sherry in Atlanta. Sherry, how you doing, honey? Sherry, are
Hi,
you there?
Sarah.
Hi, how are
Yes.
you?
I can't complain. How you doing?
Well,
Hi,
good.
Rob.
What's up, Sherry? How are you?
It's cold down here. Come join us in the freezing.
He knows better. He's from L.A. or Miami. So, Sherry, what does happiness mean to you, my dear?
When you say that to me, I think of everyone else, and you know me. I'm going to have homeless shelters.
Right.
And happiness is being stable, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And that's me. That's just me. And dancing and performing, you know.
Right. So let's talk about you performing for a minute, Sherry. When you sing, how does it make you feel? Because happiness is really more of a feeling than our bills being paid. So how do you feel when you sing?
Well, when I sing and dance, it's an undescribable emotional freeness. And it gives me such a happiness. I can't even describe it. It's ultimate for me.
It's ultimate. Okay. So that's it. So I want you to, every time you want to feel happy, go to that feeling. See yourself with the mic in your hand, hear yourself singing and performing, and feel that feeling. And then when you go for a job interview, when you go to create something in your life, be in that feeling, and that'll be the energy that you send out into the atmosphere, and that will attract that which you desire. Rob, what do you have to say about Sherry's happiness? Because
Yeah.
it's feeling like people are really still feeling happiness is on the outside as
Yeah.
opposed to from the inside.
Yeah, I just love what she shared. And I would say that as much as it seems like happiness is in the activity, the happiness is really in you. And the activity is just an excuse to experience who and what you really are, which is true happiness and true freedom already. And so that's sometimes, the dancing is an excuse to be who you truly are, an excuse. But ultimately, at the end of the day, the reason you love dancing so much is that you're tapping into who and what you truly are, which is just perfect peace, infinite happiness, and ultimate freedom.
Right. Sherry, you have a question for us?
I like that. Thank you.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt.
And it's very soulful for me. And I don't know. Yeah, it's just one of those things. Sarah, you mentioned job hunting.
Yes.
Ah, really?
Really? I
Really?
feel as if there's opportunity for growth, but I feel as if there's another job coming for you. That doesn't mean quit your job, Sherry.
I'm
know,
not.
I know you're ready to run.
Can't blame me for that.
I don't like to drive, but thank you, Lord, for my job. Yeah.
Yes. But I feel that there's another opportunity. The vibe around the energy shows me this, that you have invested in yourself. You've built this commitment to self, to sustain self with a discipline. Now, that has been your growth spurt over the past 2 years, has it not?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So since we've grown 10 feet tall, just by discipline, now we're really ready for a different position, a different opportunity. And I have a feeling that it's going to be outside the four walls of where you are now. And then when I spin you out, and I'm going to take you into the month of April and May, I feel like there's a music connection that's going to make a difference for you. So I want to see you focusing on everything that you want in its complete entirety in the picture so that you can create something new. Okay?
Thank you, Sarah. And what I want to say to you, Sarah, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. And again, thank you. And Rob, it was nice meeting you. And
My
thank
pleasure.
you for being there for us.
My pleasure. I appreciate you.
Thank you, Sherry. Thank you so much. 888-565-1470. We're opening up the phone lines, and we're going to hear from you right here on WWNN, 1470 AM and 95.3 FM. I've got to answer some more questions, and I've got to go to Marie, and Marie's in Miami. Marie, how are you tonight?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great, Marie. So, 'cause I'm happy, clap along if you feel. What is happiness for you, Marie? What's going to make you happy? What makes you feel
For
happy?
me, happy starts from within, and love makes me happy. My kids make me happy. Just like seeing my whole family happy makes me happy. I just like being in a happy place, but lately I have not been happy.
No, you haven't.
So-
Round and round you go. Where you stop, nobody knows. You're kind of going in circles
Yeah.
is what they show me, right?
Yes.
So I'm going to pass you to Rob first because I'm tuning in here and I got a story for you, honey. But I think Rob's got some insight for you for happiness. So, Rob, what do you have to share with Marie in Miami?
Yeah, boy, I just love what she said there in terms of both the love and the happiness. What I've discovered is that when I'm tapped into and turned on to who I truly am, and I'm filled with happiness myself, I'm kind of like a rain cloud, right? I'm filled with so much peace and love and joy and happiness
Right.
that I can't help but flood everybody on the entire earth, everybody in my life, indiscriminately, unconditionally, without an expectation of reciprocity, with that happiness, right? You just do it to unburden yourself. You just do it to relieve yourself of all this incredible happiness. And when I find that I'm not experiencing that, when I feel that I'm lacking the happiness or I'm lacking the love, I know that deep down inside, it's simply because I'm not experiencing as much presence in my life. I'm not being as present as I possibly could. I'm usually thinking too much, worrying too much, trying to script and plan too much, right? And I need to rest and relax into who I truly am, which is a thoughtless, wordless kind of experience, right? And so that's the one thing I would share with you, that ultimately, at the end of the day, your happiness is your gift to the world. And we call that love, but it's really just your happiness shared, right? So that's my little 2 cents.
Yeah, that's good
Thank
2
you
cents
so
there.
much.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So,
It makes
Marie,
a lot of sense.
you have a question, yes? What's your question?
Okay, so we spoke before, and I'm having issues with my husband,
Mm-hmm.
and he's with the back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm trying to figure out, would I be able to trust him again, and how's things looking for us come 2020?
Oh, my darling. First of all, only you can answer the question, can you trust him again? Okay? That's only you can. But I know you want me to go into my little crystal ball, I spy with my SarahSpiritual eye.
Yeah.
And I see. Can I have his birthday, not the year, just the month and the day, please?
12/13.
I see someone totally dazed and confused.
Yes.
And I'm not making excuses. I see someone who's dissatisfied and discontent with life. It is not a reflection of you. It's his experience. It's where he's at. And I see someone who is not quite ready to have both feet in. So you have to see him for where he's at right now. And where he is at is someone who is unable to fully commit and follow through on his words of commitment and honor you and love you the way you desire to be loved. So it is not about him and trusting him. It's about, what does Marie want? Because you've been doing this dance now for about 2 years, yes?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So the 2-year time clock is ticking, honey.
Yeah.
What do you want for your life? Now, that doesn't mean you don't love him. That doesn't mean you don't respect him. That doesn't even mean that you don't understand that he's confused. But we also have to honor ourselves and what we desire in life. And what you desire in life is a fully committed partner who's ready to build other days in the future together. And he's not ready to commit to that. So at this moment, attention on you. I didn't say attention on divorce. I didn't say attention on marriage. I said attention on you. Spirit says to thine own self be true. They remind me of that, yes? So as I get reminded of that, I say to you this. Center self and understand that you alone are your own love bucket. You fill yourself, you empty yourself. And as that cup filleth, it must flow over. And once it's flowing over, then you see if the waters are to wash him away or to draw him back in. Because the ocean is always moving, is it not? So as the ocean goes out, pushes away, but that which is meant to come back up onto shore will get pulled back up. But you cannot make choices in your life now based on what he is doing. I will tell you this, that if they take me to the month of the 2020, I almost said 2019. I'm like, what year is it? The 4 month of the 2020, this is when I see resolution. Resolution means we have a conclusion. We are either in or we are out. Stop asking, stop inquiring, stop looking for answers, stop trying to figure it out. That is his job now. And if he comes and he says, I am here, then, my darling, you cannot look for clues that prove that he's not, because that energy is going to create the energy that is going to facilitate him to do it again. If he says, I'm fully present in this marriage, then you take him at his word until he shows you otherwise. Fool me once, fool me twice, fool me 3 times, done. Yes? So he's on his last little hurrah with you anyhow.
Okay.
So you're going to choose to honor yourself first and give him the opportunity to show you where he's at. If the behavior does not realign.
He's on his last. Well, what do you mean by that, Brian?
You're running out of patience, sugar.
Yeah, I am.
I know. So come on, it's ready. The straw that broke the camel's back. If he comes and says, I'm ready, and you say, all right, we're not, the past is the past. Fair fighting means we leave the past in the past. So you can't.
I'm that type of person. I don't hold on to the past.
Let it go. Let it go. Okay?
Right.
Let the past go. Let him show you who he wants to be at this moment of time. And then you decide. Can you trust him? It's not he you do not trust. It is your own self you do not trust.
Right.
Because you're questioning, how is it that I even had this happen and I didn't realize it?
I feel like I tolerate a lot of crap.
Oh, well, honey, first of all, we're on national radio, so we won't be picking up any poop. Second of all, I want you to understand that only you can do that. And when you look inside of yourself, who inside of you doesn't feel worthy to have the love life that you desire? Because that's the whole crux of it. Again, it's not about him. So when I spin you back and I take you to the year of 8, when you were 8 years old, What changed in the family dynamic that made you not feel good enough and worthy of love? Because it's right there.
Okay.
So you go back to the memory of when we were about 8. Someone made you feel not good enough, not worthy. Someone left the household. There was a division in the household. Whatever the story is, there's a division there at your age 8. And that is the memory that is radiating out and attracting people who are not capable of honoring you, meeting you where you are. And the self inside that feels not good enough is going, see, I told you, Marie, you're not good enough.
Right.
Can't even keep this guy in the house. That's the self-talk you're hearing. And then you've tried, you've overcompensated, you've done everything that you can. So now you're going to just do you. It's a good thing to do.
Right.
This will resolve by April. In the meantime, past is the past, and love yourself more.
Okay.
Okay?
All right. Thank you, guys.
You're
so
welcome,
much.
honey. Thank you. Stay in touch with
And
us.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. God bless you.
All right. Bye.
Bye. 888-565-1470. See, that's kind of interesting, Rob, right?
It is. It is. It's so interesting to me because the opportunity there, like with most of us, is we think it's to get the other person to love us, but it's really us loving us, right? And
Right.
we often think that it's the other person making us happy when really the opportunity is us making us happy.
Right.
Right. And so if you're trying to route it through some other person or place or thing, you're always ultimately going to be disappointed for one reason or the other. Mostly because it's not their job to make you happy. It's not their job to make you feel loved or lovable. That's your job.
Right. Yeah. And it's not an easy thing, but we're conditioned to think the outside is going to make the inside better.
That's just it. Exactly.
Yeah,
you can't outsource this happiness and love thing. Just
You
can't
can.
outsource it.
I know. I used to outsource call centers, but that's a whole different
Whole
story.
different thing. You can outsource that.
Yes, absolutely. We're going to take a minute to hear from our sponsors. Then when we come back, we've got to go all across the nation. We've got New York. We've got Delaware. We've got right here in South Florida. So stay with us, everyone. Don't go away, because you know we're going to be right back.
Do you know me? Do I know you?
For a soft, rich and beautiful skin, use Beauté de Lune products. Beauté de Lune products, based on natural fruits and extracts, revitalize your skin and make you incredibly beautiful. For acne, sensitive skin, dry or oily skin, Beauté de Lune. Cleanse, moisturize and revitalize your skin with Beauté de Lune. A miracle. For your order, call us at 561-906-7466 or to our store, 2695 North Military Trail Suite 21, or visit us online at www.beautédelune.net.
Have you ever felt alone, sensing something more is around you, but are unsure how to connect? Do you wonder if your loved ones who are deceased are among you? SarahSpiritual is a gifted spiritual advisor and medium who can connect you with your loved ones, spirit guides, and ascended beings. Sarah specializes in love, relationships, money, career, health, and healing. She has an uncanny ability to convey the true thoughts and emotions of those around you. For Sarah, life is a spiritual journey, and each situation has a spiritual solution. To contact Sarah for a personal reading, call 561-682-0956 or send an email to Sarah at SarahSpiritual.com. You can also visit www.SarahSpiritual.com for more information. That's 561-682-0956 or SarahSpiritual.com. Let Spirit and Sarah raise you up.
Interested in relieving tension, reducing stress, and revitalizing your energy? Call reflexologist Isabel Prado at 561-682-0954 to book your session. Reflexology of the hands, face, and ears improves circulation, the functioning of the nervous system, reduces fine lines and wrinkles, and leads to a glowing complexion. Experience what reflexology can do for you today. Contact Isabel Prado at 561-682-0954.
You're listening to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, your spiritual advisor and medium. connect with Sarah and be in the energy of light, call Sarah Spiritual now, toll free, worldwide, 1-888-565-1470. 1-888-565-1470. Just ask your questions or message Sarah Spiritual live on Facebook, YouTube, or Periscope.
Standing in the room before I walk through the door. Do you know me? Have you heard me?
And we are back here live on WWNN 1470 AM and 95.3 FM. And I've got my friend Rob Mack here, and we are answering questions all across the nation. And we are discovering happiness. So let me ask you, Rob, you feeling happy?
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, absolutely. This is like the height for me. This is a peak moment for me. Absolutely.
I am so excited to have you here. And we were just talking when we were on break that this is our 515th live show. And we've been on air for 10 and a half years.
My goodness. I mean, has it blown by?
It went by really quick.
Yeah.
I find it hard to believe it was 10 years. And the past 5 really have flown. And we were talking about some of the callers. Like Sherry has been calling the radio show since about 8 years now.
Wow.
So she's been with us calling for 8 years. We have callers who've been calling since the very first night we aired, May 13th in 2009.
So these people are like friends and family, right? I mean,
Right.
it's like not any longer just guests. They are friends and their family.
They're friends and family. And everyone holds a safe container. Even the person who's out driving in their car, listening, who may never call. Everyone's question is everyone's answer.
Absolutely.
So as they sit in the car, they're getting their guidance, and they become invested in other people's spiritual growth and advancement and getting a job. I had one gentleman, he could not afford to see his daughter for Father's Day and have the experience with her. And one of my other callers called my center, and they said, I want to leave something for Steve so he can be with his daughter on Father's Day.
Oh, my gosh. Talk about
And
inspiring.
they did.
Oh.
And so it was one of the nicest things I ever thought I'd see someone do, because people are listening. And even though it may sound like, everyone's been calling for years, there are people who've never called before who call. And they become part of the family.
Yes.
And then everyone is holding space for everyone. They're all supporting each other's growth. So we're going to go right back to the phone lines. I've got to go to Felicia, and Felicia is in Delaware. Felicia, how are you today?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing great, Felicia. So, Felicia, what does happiness mean to you?
Oh,
Well, let me tell you a story, darling. Oh, my God. What is happiness for you?
well, when you're enjoying your family and feeling love, and I guess being centered with, everything, you're okay with everything around you, and I haven't had too much of that lately,
I know that.
to tell you the truth.
I know as you're talking, the first thing I have is lost and alone. Okay, that's the first thing Spirit says to me. And I was hearing this song in my head, lost and all alone. I always thought that I could make it on my own. So we're ready to turn the story around, right?
Yes.
Yes. When I look at this, they make me aware of a couple of things, Felicia. The first thing they show me is that when you've put other people first, many people do this, they haven't been there to support you in return, yes?
Yeah.
And you have been in this energy of just kind of going through the motions. And when I take you back to 2015 to now, it's been this state of change and flux and trying to get your feet back on the ground, and you just can't seem to get yourself centered to have the life that you've been desiring. Is that correct?
Yes.
Past 4 years is what it feels like to me.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of support from the loved ones on the other side. And I'm going to kind of tune in and see who's there to support you. But while I'm doing that, I'm going to pass you to Rob because I'm sure Rob can understand the feeling of feeling lost and alone. And perhaps we can help you recalibrate that experience and translate it into a little more happiness, yes?
Yeah, that would be nice.
Okay, Rob?
Yeah, it's boy, talk about the challenge and opportunity. I mean, I think the one thing I know for sure that I've just got in my own life is that when and where I felt lonely, I always thought it was about the lack of other people and the lack of presence, the presence of the other people. But really, ultimately, it was always me struggling with an idea about what and who should be showing up for me, when really the invitation was for me to show up for me. And that often meant me being more deeply present with the life within me, which often meant thinking less and experiencing that quiet, calm, composed, collected presence, that powerful presence or life within myself, just being with that more often and taking my mind off of what was lacking, taking my mind off of who wasn't showing up for me and committing to showing up for myself. And that often just meant learning to practice loving my aloneness. When I loved my aloneness, it was no longer loneliness, it was just love. And often I thought it was somebody else's responsibility or there was something else in the world that I needed in order to feel that love. But ultimately, at the end of the day, you are that love. And as much as this feels like a challenge right now, and it sounds like a frustration right now, and it is, it's really more of an invitation and a calling for you to dive deeper into yourself, not to go out searching in the world or go out into the world trying to get people to love you back or to try to get people to spend more and more time and energy with you, because that ultimately won't lead or end in like lasting, abiding, and meaningful fulfillment.
Right. Felicia, what's your question for us tonight?
About my grandmom and my daughter I adopted out.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder how she's doing.
Mm-hmm.
My daughter, Carly.
Right.
And my grandmom, I feel like she's been around. A lot of stuff's been happening.
So the first word I have here on my paper is grandmother here. So grandmother's clearly with you, and she's giving me flowers to give to you. And it seems like something that you would do or bring her flowers, and it's just this connection. She also makes me feel like there's a birthday and anniversary, a significance of something that's coming for you in the family, like something that was important to her, if that makes sense to you. So grandmother steps forward, very present around you. And if I go in the lineup, like your favorite, yes?
Yeah.
There was a favorite connection between the two of you. It's like, don't tell the others, but you're my favorite. There's this connection that you made her feel like you two were friends, yes?
Yes.
Okay. And so as she places in my hand what looks like, it's like was there like a little card or a booklet or something that you have that's connected to her, or a picture that's not in a frame? It's just something flat. Looks like a booklet, a card, or a picture, like a mass card or a picture. I can't quite make it out, but it lays flat in her hand.
Yeah, I have a bunch of things like that.
Okay.
It's all of her.
It's all of her. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
There's one that's of great importance. I'm going to step away from this now because I can't spend a lot of time with her, but she wants you to know. She tells me, when I first heard your voice, she says grandmother. When I said I saw someone, it's grandmother. It's very important that you know. Now, your daughter, Carly, you have a question about Carly, please?
Carly, I'm wondering if she's okay, if she's ever going to come back and contact me.
She will. She will. Right now, it's a disconnect, and there's a disconnect for a reason. There's a different soul experience that she needs to have. And for you, this is your time to nurture you. And I understand that you feel lost and alone. But understand this, that in this moment, you are not as alone as you believe yourself to be. The angels, the guides, and your grandmother are stepping up to be of assistance to you. Truly not alone. And when I move you into this 2020 time, I feel as if there's a new sense of purpose, a new strength, almost a remake of you, a redesign. And as you redesign yourself, you disconnect from the need to have this connection with your daughter. And then your daughter feels that disconnect in a way that she realizes that she has to make her own choices. And then when she's ready, she comes with no blame or no attitude or no judgment, because I feel like there's been a lot of like brainwashing and conversations and things that complicated the relationship. Does that make sense to you?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
This all gets washed away over time. Time does heal all wounds, my friend, okay? Thank you so much for calling us, and God bless you, and we wish you a Merry Christmas.
God bless you. Thank you. And
bless
Merry
you.
Christmas and Happy Holidays. And
Yes.
thank you for everything.
You're welcome, and your grandma's very much with you, honey, okay?
Thank you.
She's gonna hang with me in the studio for a while, I am sure. So she's kind of chatty, actually, but I'll have a chat with her
Tell
later.
her to get her butt back home here.
Yes. All right, honey. God bless you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
888-565-1470. We're going to go right back to the phone lines. I got Joey, and Joey's in Hollandale, Florida. Joey, what's going on?
What's up, Joey?
I'm doing really good, and my papa says he loves you, helping me.
Ah, wonderful. So, Joey, what does happiness mean to you?
Happiness means to be being in love with somebody that really shares what you are enthusiastic about and loving yourself. First of all, you got to marry yourself and love yourself, and then marry somebody else.
So you already
And that's
married
my
yourself, so now you're on the quest for someone to marry? Is that what you're saying, honey?
That's exactly what I wrote, and I published it, too. It's in a
Good.
book.
Good. I look forward to reading that.
Love that.
Joey, what's your question for Rob?
Uh-oh.
My question for Rob, well, actually, I was actually for you. I was cut off the question. I've been where he was, and that's how I started to fall in love with myself. My question is my partner in service would help to me with what I do spiritually to help other people and myself, and is he in the same county?
So the partner that you would desire, is he in the same county that you are in?
County, city.
No. No, someday my prince will come, and no. Not Florida, honey. That's not happening. He may come to Florida, but I don't feel him in Florida. Now,
Okay.
the next thing that I see for you. Are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready. I'm ready.
I see trip for you. And I know you and I have a reading coming up. So
Yes, I do.
I know. Thank you for booking a reading with Sarah Spiritual.
I love you. We're going to go deeper.
We're going to go deeper. But I can tell you this, that the partner that I see is going to be supportive of your work, spiritual in their own way, but not really doing what you do. Because you need, okay. Did you ever know that you're my hero? You're everything I would like to be. Remember that song? You are the
Yes, I do.
wind beneath my wings.
I absolutely do remember
That's
that song.
going to
I
be
sang
your
it the day
guide.
my best friend
That's the person.
died.
Okay? You are the wind beneath my wings. They're going to be more the wind beneath your wings than hanging on your wings. And, honey, you've had
that
enough
makes
wing
sense.
hanging for a while. Lord.
Absolutely.
Lord, how many people did you carry on your wings? My goodness. So now, they're going to be the wind beneath your wings so you can fly high. They will be spiritual, but they are not going to be doing things exactly the way you do and in that energetic field. They're just going to be who they are, and they're going to support that energy. And as you know, I've been telling you, love is coming, so just get ready. I don't know when, I don't know where, but today's the day true love comes my way.
You have it. Today the CD came in. My question is,
yes,
I have something that keeps coming through that says it's going to happen in February. And I'm journaling, I'm writing, I'm painting. I'm doing paintings now by spirit. Something is coming through in February, and I can't seem to get the answer. I'm writing down.
Okay. So this is what I hear. Are you ready? First of all, why do you ask questions you already know the answers to? And second of all, let it unfold. Something's coming, I don't know what it is, but it's gonna be great. The air is blowing, and something great is coming. So if you know that...
Sarah, I just got the CD today because I had to have it.
Okay.
I have it in front of me. I'm looking at it. Okay,
great.
You're incredibly wonderful.
All right, honey.
And
Thank you.
I want to say to Rob, and thank you. And my book is also dedicated to the same thing. I was many times in the same place, and I asked Spirit as an angel incarnate which I don't always disclose to everybody, I experienced that I don't want to be on this earth. And when you want to be your genuine self on this earth, you realize that you are of service. And that's what saved my life, falling in love with me.
Absolutely. You can preach that all day, brother. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for sharing that.
All right. Thank you, Joey.
Thank you very much. I'll be reading what you said. I'll be reading what you wrote.
All right. And
Thank
definitely
you so much.
you definitely want to get Rob's book, Happiness from the Inside Out, The Art and the Science of Fulfillment.
Absolutely, because we all have something to share. We all
actually do.
have something to share.
Cut from the same cloth, brother.
Yeah.
Same cloth.
All right. God bless you.
right.
Happy holidays.
Bye. 888-565-1470. I got to go deep in the heart of Texas. I'm going to Texas. I don't even know what's going on there in Texas, but let's see. We got Jana on the line. Jana, how are you?
SarahSpiritual.
Yes.
Oh, it's about 27 degrees down here. We're freezing.
Sugar, and come on down.
We're sending some sunshine from here.
Yeah. I am so sorry you're chilly over there, but, we are partly sunny with a hint of a little chill. We might hit 70, so that's a little cold here for us. Lord, it's getting chilly.
I'm a tropical child myself. I'm displaced. I feel displacement at the moment.
So, Jana, what is happiness for you?
Wow. Well, you know what came to mind?
What?
John Lennon's song, Happiness is a Warm Gun. Ain't that terrible? It just came up in my mind.
Well, I just think the muses are playing with you. So let's get off the music. I see I got everyone on the music buzz now. So what else makes you happy, honey? What's happiness?
I'll tell you what makes me happy is being able to be in service for other people, but I tell you what would make me really happy if I could just be well.
Be well.
Or I could be feeling good.
Okay.
And not to be so hateful. I've been so hateful to people lately. I just go off on tangents.
Okay. So that's a
And
feeling.
I don't know where that's coming from.
Lots coming up. Lots coming up because what? Okay, my spiritual guides told me to tell you it's spiritual upchuck. That's what they just told me, okay? It's a lot of old energies coming up, and it's the dissatisfaction of what you thought life would be, bringing you to the moment for you to recognize what life is really to be for you. And we've got to shed a lot of layers in the energy. Because remember this, that the cellular structure holds memory. So every trauma, every thought, every dissatisfaction, every hurt, every pain, it's in our cells. And then as we evolve in this world and we experience more things, and we experience it in the physicality, maybe there's an illness or an ailment or something muscular, whatever's going on in the physical body, and we know you've got a lot of physical pain going on in your body, Jana, and they show me that you have difficulty walking and moving. The hurt inside the emotions and the cells is what the pain, the actual physical pain, is latching onto. So they're kind of weaving themselves within each other. So as you go within and you repeat to yourself, I am healed, I am in alignment with divine love, and you see every cell in your body, particularly the ones that are gnarly, because you've got some gnarly ones, filling with light, we're going to shift that consciousness. And remember that once you tap into the divine universal flow of healing, that divine universal flow flows through you from the top of your head and can fill every cell with light. Now, to some people, that's going to sound a little woo-woo, but we are energy. It's energy. So when we direct energy, you are the conduit of God's energy. You direct it to the cells in your body. And what's coming up is old memories and dissatisfaction from life. And you're just like, I remember a cable commercial where the guy looked up the sky and said, I'm not going to take it anymore. And that's what your emotions are doing. They're like, shoot, happiness is a warm gun and I ain't going to take it no more. Right? That's what you're feeling, right? So we understand that feeling. Anything you can do, I can do better. All right, I'm going to go to Rob Mack. Rob?
Oh, just beautifully said. Sarah, I think, the challenge and the opportunity with every illness is to focus on the body more at just the time when you need to focus on it less, when you really should be focusing on that which is beyond the body, which is behind the body, which is, sort of beneath the body. And so you might feel that you are a body because you have a body, but there's something that's aware of your body, and that's what you are. You're just that awareness. So if you could put more focus and attention and energy or awareness on just that peaceful aliveness and alive peacefulness that's underneath the pain, that's underneath the body, you'd find that you'd feel better in the moment And then over time, your body will continue to restore itself to its natural state of health and well-being.
Right.
But you've got to put more focus and attention on something, on that which is beyond the body, that's aware of the body, but isn't the body. Sort of that life
Right.
force or energy.
Yeah.
Oh, I just love your voice, too. Hey, listen, I can't do that PayPal, but can I talk to somebody about maybe getting more of a reading with you, Sarah Spiritual, and give them my credit card?
Honey?
You giving away credit cards? Uh-oh.
No, I ain't giving my credit cards.
We're all open to receiving today.
PayPal won't let me go through. I just have one other question before we can do that. Do you see anything coming up as far as a relationship or traveling 2020? Do you see me getting healed at least and maybe traveling somewhere?
Well, we're working on the healing energy, that I can tell you. But I say this to you. Relationship comes next year. But right now we're in a relationship with yourself. We're going to steal Joey's line. You're marrying you. And I know. I'll be the bridesmaid, okay? I'll catch the bouquet, too. Woo! So as you are the brides, I'll be the bridesmaid. Okay, so here we are. I want you to understand this. That which you focus your attention upon becomes that which you create.
Right.
Earlier, before we started the show, I was sharing with Rob how I had all these ailments in my back. And I had to take my attention off of that and focus on something I wanted to create outside the physical pain, because otherwise the physical pain was so debilitating, it was going to incapacitate me, and I wasn't going to have a life. So at that moment, I chose life. So in this moment, you choose the cruise, the travel, the partner.
Yes.
And choose you first. Choose that I am one with the divine universal healing. I am the magnet attracting fun, exciting experiences of travel, and I am the magnet that brings forth divine, unconditional love in this human experience, and so it is.
Ooh, that was a beautiful wave. I love that.
I know. Thank God we record this on Facebook, YouTube, and all across the nation, because I could never repeat it again, honey. But as I say this, accept it, believe that you are worthy of this. And Jana, I know we have a number. We'll call you, and we will schedule your personal session with Sarah Spiritual. But for all those who want a personal session with me, Sarah Spiritual, go to sarahspiritual.com/sessions, and you get to see all the different ones I offer. And Jana, we will be in contact with you. Thank you so much for following the show.
Oh, and I love your guests, too. Thank you. God
Thank
bless
you.
you.
I think
God
we'll keep
bless
them
you.
for a while.
Yeah.
Thank you. All right.
Thank you. I appreciate you,
Love
Jana.
to you both.
Bye.
Love to you.
Bye.
We're going to take a minute to hear from our sponsors, and then when we come back, we're going to go right back to the phone lines, 888-565-1470. Stay with us, everyone. Don't go away, because you know we're going to be right back.
I've been standing in the room before I walk through the door. Do you know me?
For a soft, rich and beautiful skin, use Beauté de Lune products. Beauté de Lune products, based on natural fruits and extracts, revitalize your skin and make you incredibly beautiful. For acne, sensitive skin, dry or oily skin, Beauté de Lune. Cleanse, moisturize and revitalize your skin with Beauté de Lune. A miracle. For your order, call us at 561-906-7466 or to our store, 2695 North Military Trail Suite 21, or visit us online at www.beautédelune.net.
For the most extensive multicultural array of spiritual products, classes, and healing services in a comfortable and convenient setting, you must visit the Expedito Enlightenment Center in the Habitat Plaza in West Palm Beach. There you'll find the products, services, and spiritual development classes to help you bridge the gap between you and your spiritual connection. Arrange for your own personal spiritual reading with Sarah Spiritual for spiritual insight. The Expedito Enlightenment Center is located at 4047 Okeechobee Boulevard Boulevard in the Habitat Plaza, West Palm Beach. Call them at 561-682-0955 or online at ExpeditoEnlightenmentCenter.com. For yourself or for a thoughtful gift, there's no better place to visit than the Expedito Enlightenment Center in the Habitat Plaza, Okeechobee Boulevard, West Palm Beach. Call 561-682-0955 or visit them on the web at ExpeditoEnlightenmentCenter.com.
Interested in relieving tension, reducing stress, and revitalizing your energy? Call reflexologist Isabel Prado at 561-682-0954 to book your session. Reflexology of the hands, face, and ears improves circulation, the functioning of the nervous system, reduces fine lines and wrinkles, and leads to a glowing complexion. Experience what reflexology can do for you today. Contact Isabel Prado at 561-682-0954.
You're listening to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, your spiritual advisor and medium. Connect with Sarah and be in the energy of light. Call SarahSpiritual now, toll free, worldwide, 1-888-565-1470. 1-888-565-1470. Just ask your questions or message SarahSpiritual live on Facebook, YouTube, or Periscope.
And we are back here live on WWNN 1470 AM and 95.3 FM. Do you know me? I am Sarah Spiritual, and you're listening to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah right here on WWNN. I've got my special guest, Rob Mack, in the house. How you doing, Rob?
I'm doing fantastic.
Can you imagine 2 hours just flying right by?
Oh, my goodness. Well, with you singing like that, my goodness, I mean, 10 days would fly right by. It's just beautiful, incredible.
Thank you. Well, we are going to go right back to the phone lines, and we've got a full board here. We're going to try to get to as many questions before we wind off. I have to go to Lydia, and Lydia is in Georgia. Georgia, we got Lydia in Georgia. How you doing?
I'm doing okay.
Good. Good. So, Lydia, what is happiness for you?
Happiness is like getting together with my children, my family.
Yes.
That is happiness for me. Yes. Taking care of people who need help, enjoying.
Yes.
At the same time.
And Lydia, I know that there's a lot of people on the other side that you are very attuned to. So I know that they're with you as well. And I just want to make you aware of that though they may not be here with you in the physical, they are with you. So you and I had a conversation on air maybe a few months ago. How are you feeling? Because I know we did a little energy work on you. How's that going?
I'm feeling better.
Good.
My inside out is feeling better. It just sometimes my emotional, it just like drains me out sometimes.
Okay.
So I'm feeling better.
So when you look at this energy and you feel drained, Lydia, how do you shift that for yourself? Do you have a method that you use?
God. I pray to God.
You pray to God.
To give me strength. Yes.
Okay. Now, I know, Lydia, that when I look at the energy for the past 4 years, things have been challenging for you. I also know that there's physical limitations, and some of these seem to have lightened, yes?
Yes.
Okay. Because I think you had said you were having difficulty walking, and now we're a little better, yes?
Yes. You too, yes.
Yes. Well, we had some healing happen, and there's some more healing, but now we've got to do some healing on the inside out, yes?
Yes.
To really feel as if you're worthy of all the things that you'd like to have in life.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes.
So what we're going to do is we're going to pass you to Rob, because he's the inside-out expert. I'm just the messenger over here. So, Rob, what you got to say?
Yeah. Boy, well, the first thing I know for certain is that it's hard to love the parts of us that don't feel that lovable. So you don't really want to start there. You want to start on those things that you find most easily to love about yourself. And sometimes it's just the little no's, and sometimes it's just the little toes, or it might be something small and trivial. But if you could just focus more and more and put more attention and energy on those parts of yourself, of your personality, it can be your body, it can be your life that you love and appreciate the most. If you could just keep your eyes off the things that you don't love so easily or at all, you'd find that this self-love thing just continues to ramp up and up and up and up. And before you know it, you'll turn back at those things that you thought were so unlovable, and you'll find those things perfectly lovable as well. So I would just encourage you to continue doing that.
Right.
Yeah.
Lydia, I know the holidays are a little bit challenging for you. But I also know that this holiday time is also going to be important for you to really embrace the happiness that you want to have in your 2020. I actually feel as if there's a trip that's meant to come for you in the month of March, starting that March energy. So it's for you to set your intention on where you'd like to go, what you'd like to do. And I get a sense of reunion, some connection with a group of people. There's some people that you'd like to get back together with. Is this true?
Yes.
Okay. So focus the intention on that, because I see the separation, but I also see the reunion. And if I can see it and you can believe it, then it comes to pass. Okay?
Okay.
All right. Realize that you're not as alone as you think you are. All right, my dear?
Okay. One question. I would like to have or if I would like to know if I can get like a phone number of I have a grandson, and I love him, but sometimes he just like too much on himself.
Right.
And I want to try to see if I can help. My daughter hasn't helped enough, and he's always asking for money, but it's not right.
Right.
And I would like to get some help for him.
Okay.
I don't know who to contact or who to help, get him that help.
Okay. Well, let's take a look and see what's going on. Lydia, you gave your phone number to us when we took your call, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So we'll reach out and we'll do some troubleshooting, see what we really need to do, and then we'll move you forward. All right, my dear?
Okay.
All right, great. Thank you so much. You too. God bless you. Merry Christmas.
Thank you. You too. Bye.
888-565-1470. We're going to go right back to the phone lines. And I've got to go to Isabel. And Isabel, she's in Miami. Isabel, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing great.
Good. So what does happiness mean to you, Isabel?
I guess being around the people that cares about you the most.
Really? Who would they be?
I really don't know for me.
Okay. So that's really interesting. So we want to be around people that care for us the most, but we're not quite finding ourselves in the circle of people that support us, yes?
Right.
So that's a little bit of a disconnect, yes?
Yeah.
Okay. What's your question for us? Because we have just a couple of minutes here before we wind out. So what's your question?
Am I going to be happy?
That's a great question. That is such a great question. I'm going to ask you a question back. Do you want to be happy?
Yeah, I want to be happy.
Okay. Do you know what makes you feel happy?
I'm not really sure.
Okay. So, Rob?
Yeah.
Quickly, what can we give her as a tip to do to help her discover what makes her happy?
Yeah, so the easiest thing is just to start a little list, okay, where you simply write or list out the things, the activities, the people, the places that make you feel naturally and easily and effortlessly inspired and uplifted and just excited and happy to be alive. It can be very superficial things, but just start with that list, okay? And if you can start with that list, over time it's going to grow and grow and grow. And then what we want to do is we want to spend more time and more energy in those places with those people doing those things.
Okay. We're going to leave you with that for right now, Isabel. And then we will redirect you. If you call us back next week, we will pick up where we left off, all right?
All right.
All right, honey. Thank you so much for calling. Merry Christmas. Bye. 888-565-1470. We're so glad that you're able to join us here for Spiritually Speaking with Sarah right here on WWNN, 1470 AM and 95.3 FM. And Rob,
Yes.
thank you so much for joining us.
The pleasure was all mine. I just love, love, love you, Sarah, and I
Thank
love what
you.
you do. Thank you.
Thank you. We are so glad that everyone is here with us, and we wish you all, from our heart and soul to all across the planet, we wish you love, peace, and of course, happiness from the inside out. We are glad to share time and space with you. God bless you. Thank you for all your participation and 515 shows. I can't wait to see what 2020 brings for all of you and all of us together as we journey in this wonderful journey of consciousness and shifting and changing to be in the energy of love. Because after all, love is the answer. Thank you. Thank you, Rob. Good night. God bless you. And I am Sarah Spiritual.
That shines down upon me, and there's a light that brightens up my day. There's a light leading the way. Oh, there's a light. There's a light, there's a light that opens doors for everyone. Oh, there's a light that touches hearts. There's a light.
This has been Spiritually Speaking with Sarah. You can hear and speak with Sarah Spiritual every Wednesday from 6 to 8 p.m. Each week, Sarah Spiritual and Spirit answer your most important questions as you navigate life. Listen and call in next week and let Spirit guide you. If you didn't have a chance to speak with Sarah Spiritual tonight, visit Sarah at SarahSpiritual.com. You can message Sarah Spiritual at Facebook and follow her on Instagram. Tune in next week for more Spiritually Speaking with Sarah.
The